Hi everybody, I'm that girl Goddess. I come today just sharing my life experiences a day at work. Well, I didn't get most of the residence rooms and stuff like that, and the house manager is not here. I mean, I'm taking a break. She don't like you to take no breaks, but legally you can take a break. Okay, but my job, I'm gonna say it's not really hard or anything like that, and I don't have a problem with ever doing my job. I don't care what job I go to. I'm gonna do it like I'm doing it unto the Lord. So the task is gonna be done. I'm gonna do it like unto the Lord, my best, the best. You know, I'm not one of those who run from my responsibility. Um, a lot of people say I make things hard for other people because I set the bar high for myself. But when I'm in service for somebody, if they room need to be clean, it's gonna be clean. I'm not gonna go in there and see their garbage can full and not empty it. I'm not gonna, make their bed and make it sloppy, just throw the blanket and the covers over it. No, I'm gonna make sure it's fitted, it's nice, it's firm, and I'm gonna spread everything the way you're supposed to do it. Some people just don't take no pride in anything, and they go out their way not to make it look good or decent. They have a bad attitude. I make sure when I go into the room, I'm springing the spirit of joy and happiness as I'm doing it. I'm singing in my head unto God, and I want them to know, like, okay, she came in here and did her thing in my room. Just be the little things that matter. And I make sure if they toilet paper low, I'm gonna fill the toilet paper stuff. I'm gonna make sure they have a clean towel, extra towel if I see stuff that, their sheets and, you're supposed to change them. They want you to change them, like once a week. If I see that the is soil, I'm gonna change them. I don't care if it's 5 days a week. Okay, I only work 5 days here. So I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna wash it. I'm just not there. I put it in the laundry so when the day comes when I come down to the second level, I'm gonna make sure it's washed. But I'm gonna make sure their bed is clean and tight. When it comes to the room, it's nothing on the floor. I sweep every day, basically. So they may ate a popcorn and a popcorn seed hit the floor. I clean it. I immediately clean it and everything. And I talk to people with respect. A lot of jobs I worked at, people think because they're not saved that they can have the right to talk to about any people any old kind of way, and they real abrasive. And I tell people, we're all under the word of God. Even if you serve the devil, he said circumcised and uncircumcised. He said all. Okay? You can make a choice if you want to serve Jesus or not, but we're all under the same word. And that's why I look at people like, look, first of all, when I go to work, when you come in, I mean, I had this job and it was strange because I was at Walmart. And I like my job. I was a cashier. It wasn't really hard, but even though you get a description as cashier, they go tell you to put up some stock. Okay, but the stock people make more money. Okay. So I just keep myself busy, do my job, go up there because it's self-serve anyway. And I work with the registers and put in whatever code and whatever needs to be done. Show a lot of the elderly how to work the self-serve registers. And they really appreciate when I do it and when I'm pleasant. I'll be like, well, what's going on, ma'am, sir? And they tell me, I was like, oh, that's no problem. Let me show you what you need to do. I'm gonna do it for you, but watch this. And don't be afraid to ask. And you see this right here? This is a barcode. This is what you're scanning across. Then it's gonna pop up right here. And they be like, oh, they be so glad, like Everybody don't want to be a burden, especially a lot of the elderly. They want to be able to do things on their own. And I do it and I'm smiling and everything. And I say, okay, sweeties, y'all have a great day. If you need me, just call me right on over here. I'm right over there. You know, I worked a job. When I got on, they said, this is where you work. I said, okay. They didn't even want to show me how to do the register. So I came in early and somebody showed me how to work some things. Okay. And they had a nasty attitude. Oh, they didn't show you? I was like, no, I really need help. I wonder why they didn't show you this. I said, I don't know, but maybe they forgot. Maybe the circumstance didn't arise. I say, could you show me, please? And the thing, one of the people said, well, what's that girl name right there? That's the one who helped me. I said, we don't know each other's name. They haven't even introduced me to the crew, the people I work with. So I had to one day turn around and say, look, let me explain something to y'all. When I come in the morning, I say, good morning. Y'all supposed to say good morning. Y'all standing here tomorrow, I ain't sleep last night. Everybody frowning, barely wash their face. And I'm looking at them like, look, that's not how you work on a job. A little courtesy. And then when I was like, my name is such and such. Okay, what's your name? Okay. And she was like, my name is such and such. I'm still in school. And they was pleasant. And then every day it spread it like a wildflower. When I came into work, they was like, hey, goddess. I was like, hey, what's going on? And then they start telling me, I like when you work because, man, we just be laughing and talking. We be doing our job. They say, you make it pleasant. And I say, yeah, I never understood why this place is like this. What's wrong with just being courteous, light conversation? You ain't got to tell everybody all your business, but what's wrong with that? So I changed the atmosphere and the job was pleasant, until I left and everything. But I moved to this down here in Georgia, in this city. It's like nobody have manners. Nobody's pleasant. Everybody's jury. Most of them, I'm going to say 75% is witches. They sit up and try to do stuff to you just because they bored. And I had to let them know, look, baby, watch this. And when they started putting something on me, I swung back. I ain't do no witchcraft. But when I got through, lady had a heart attack. I was like, yeah, I know how to return back to sender. And then she going to look at me, oh. And I'm going to tell you which one did it. And it doesn't matter. And it didn't manifest in my life. I just felt when you was doing it. Okay. And I just looked at him. Look, see, this is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Unnecessary. I'm not an enemy to yours. I ain't did nothing to you. I ain't trying to hurt you. I'm just living my life. And you got these people just walk around, like even on YouTube. You got YouTube people, witches, that sit there and try to put spells on you because you on YouTube. You just about your business. You're a content creator. You ain't hurting nobody. You ain't tearing nobody else's page down. But they literally seek you out. New subscribers and, well, that too, because a lot of them do witchcraft on the people that subscribe to them. I just look at people. I had a lady, I was watching her tarot, and I really turned it on because I'd be bored, okay? And my house was empty, and she talked a lot. So just hearing a voice in the house, was good for me. Man, when I say this one was doing all kind of stuff, when I started fighting back, praying, talking, God started showing me everything. I said, this is ridiculous. And then I made a remark about it. Why did, on another one, I said, some of you too, you terrorists doing witchcraft on people. She turned around and started explaining about this same person doing witchcraft on her, attacking her spiritually. And when I say the page was overflow with this, it was an overflow with how terrible these tarot readers and witches was. And subscribers, so I unsubscribed, and then God started talking to me. I said, well, I unsubscribed too, but I only just wanted to hear noise in the house. I wasn't looking for a reading. Why would I look for a reading when I can go to God and he'll tell me? That doesn't even make sense to me. I don't need no detail that long. I just need God to guide me from day to day and tell me what I need to do. Okay? And be about my Father's business. Okay? I don't need to know where then. And they always going to tell you that whoever you're with is in the third party. Okay? They mess up more relationships than anybody. And everybody you meet, if you let them tell them, is trying to put something on you. And I'm like, everybody is not open to that. And they'll make a whole series, and then some of them, y'all don't understand. A lot of these tarot readers go on y'all Facebook pages, y'all other social media pages, look you up, try to study it. That's why you don't put that much on social media. And then they turn around and try to do a reading and say, well, this happened back in the past, and this, and this. I'm seeing this is the past, but this is the present, and this is what's coming up. And they be looking up, baby. They ain't more got the gift of tarot. I seen one lady, she was doing tarot, and I told her, I said, well, you read the cards wrong. I was actually born with the gift of tarot when I was a little child, and I just picked up a deck, a regular deck, and started reading the cards. Didn't nobody teach me. It just was born in me. I did it for a while, but then, I wasn't interested in reading on other people and stuff like that, and I still got the gift. And even when I did, I said, well, okay, let me study these tarot cards. And I started studying and different things, but I'm a prophetess. I see stuff. I ain't even got to pull no cards and I can read it, And I started she started pulling cards and she reading. I said, no, she read that card wrong. No, she didn't pick that up. That card means this, And then a couple days later, somebody put in there and say, no, that card you pulled right here means this. And then she was like, ah. And then she did. And I said, some of them, when you get the cards, you can read them. And then according to that deck, when that card is pulled, it means something else. And I said, certain cards, like it was this card called Hoodoo cards or something like that. But their cards was totally different. They had sticks and baskets, and it was a good tarot card. Every tarot card is not gonna work for every reader. You got to know what's the spirit of God is showing you, or the spirit is showing you. And she was reading them wrong, and then she had to look at the book. She said, "Oh, I ain't gonna be messing with that deck, cause da 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 da." And I was like, But if the spirit was leading you, he would have told you. I don't, I just tell people, I don't make it a big thing of like trying to comfort people. But when somebody's doing something and they fake, they just fake. I don't know how I got on tarot readings, but, card reading, but I'm a Christian. So somebody said, well, if you're a Christian, you ain't going to pull it. If God tell me to pull it, I will. I just I don't follow astrology to the point I'm going to look at the stars and have to have my reading and everything. When I need something, I'm going to God. When I live my life, I'm lining up the word of God. That don't mean I don't have a gift. Okay? And God gave you a gift for a reason. Okay? You have so many people coming in your life that sometimes you use the cards to narrow it down to this particular person that you're pulling the cards for. Then you have these, they say collective readings. I mean, it is to a certain point, but then people don't pray and ask God, was this for them? And their lives be in chaos. Okay? And then when you pull cards and keep going to psychics and stuff like that, you still have and I always say it's a demonic curse price to pay. You have to be careful who's reading the cards, because if they a witch and they channel from the underworld, then people get to go into these ancestors. A lot of them are pagan demons sitting in the position of a god. They false gods and stuff. You have a mess on your hand. Those spirits will attack you and your family and your situation. Then you be trying to go have to find someone to take this off of you. That's why I don't even deal with the tarot. I mean, I know certain ones God guide me, saying, it's safe. I can listen and, you know, okay. But for the most part, I can look at one person's tarot card and feel when she's trying to pull my energy to the thing. And when you get there, she trying to tell me that somebody is supposed to be my spouse, basically, and it's this celebrity that I know is foul. Okay? I gotta tell everybody, I don't want no part of the Illuminati. I don't believe in none of that mess they doing. I'm not offered to witchcraft. I am a Christian and I have to marry, be equally yoked. I have to marry within Christian. God don't want you unless he directed you like he did Moses to marry someone that was into the black arts or something like that, Hosea, for his purpose. But on the average, you got to pray and ask God who is the one. Women, God is not gonna really give you nothing. Most of the time, he may give you ideas about your spouse, and then when they come, the rest of it you will see it will manifest all the different things he told you. God told me a lot of things about my last spouse and the spouse before me and two other people that I was engaged to. Mind you, I was celibate when I was just not married to these people. And God showed me um, different things about him to the point when I met him, I said, yeah, God told me this about you. And God would show me the vision that he had gave me, and everything was in comfort, being confirmed. It wasn't like I'm looking at some guy and I'm saying, well, this is, or somebody told me that's my spouse. Nope. And then I not get a quickening in my spirit. And when I say God started showing me everything he said, and as things went back when he said, he told me when I was 11 years old, certain things. And I tried to, and to the point when the guy went to do something and he reached his hand out towards me, when he reached his hand out, I seen a vision of what God showed me when he reached his hand towards me. And I was like, whoa. And that was something he showed me when I was a child. And he played it back in my head when it happened. And then he even showed me what color outfit he was going to have on. It was down to that. And I just looked at him. And what he said to me, God showed me. And the exact words came out of his mouth. I never spoke it. I never said nothing. I was like, oh, come on, God. And when I say 25 years later, boom, it fully manifested. I wasn't praying, wasn't trying, wasn't seeking nobody. Talked to him less than 5 minutes, walked in the room and felt his energy. Wasn't looking. I was really thanking God I had a moment of time when I didn't have to be a wife or connected to nobody. I can just do some self-love, and I was taking care of that and doing my shadow work. When I say shadow work, I mean fasting and praying. Yes, I burn frankincense and myrrh because it cleanses the house of spiritual demons and stuff. It is something that God had the three wise men give to baby Jesus, to his parents and everything, for the spiritual cleansing. So it's not demonic. That incense, all incense is not demonic. That's why the Catholic Church, when you get to casting out spirit, you're supposed to spiritually cleanse the area with frankincense and myrrh, praying for, purity, and, it helps you be more obedient to God. It pulls your energy into godly obedience and stuff. I was raised that way, so I'm kind of speechless right now, but I wasn't raised by my parents that way. I went to a Catholic church. I ran to them because I was adopted with a lot of witches, and they was malicious. And I gathered some things along the way. God showed me different things. But even to the point, he told me when I look into this man's eyes, I was going to see something. He told me what I was going to see. I said, so what's going to happen when we lock eyes? And everything he told me manifested. Everything. I never spoke it, never told it. He showed me things back in my past. When the guy started looking in my eyes, and he's a prophet too. I started looking at him, I said, oh, he looking all into my life. Oh my God. Until one day he just stood up, he said, I will tell you something, but I ain't gonna say it out loud. And I was like, and he tried to flirt with me, and I was like, no. I was on my spiritual journey, okay? I was doing my work. I'm spiritually cleansing, building myself up, fasting and stuff, you know. I'm trying to set me some goals, trying to reach it. I was trying to move him out the way, okay? And God told me he was going to tell me, I ain't going nowhere. And I looked at him, I ain't going nowhere. What you mean? We're not even dating. What is wrong with you? You ain't even say, Miss, I like you. Okay, I don't even know your name. And I'm looking, I said, God, what? But he showed me. And I said, well, I have to see it to believe it. Because me, I ain't marrying nobody if I don't like you, if I ain't attracted to you. I have a list. I mean, some of my list God threw out, okay, and told me. And I was like, well, God, no, you don't know me. But he showed me, and it was all good, you know. That's how I got into my marriage and my love journey. And equally yoked, you know. Because we'll be anointed for each other and how we interact with each other, you know. I said, okay, he told me some other stuff too. And it is. But this reader, she'll get to try to read me and she'll be like, you're single. And I'm like, I'm not single. People come in my book, oh, you going through this, this, and this. I'm like, you read me absolutely wrong because I ain't going through none of that. Now, since I put something on social media with this video, I don't accept readings for people because you have a field day of learning, or you know, because people research people. But it's a lot of things they don't have to tell me because God always give confirmation. He always show. But all of that stuff, I'm like, baby, I'm not going through all of that. No, it don't seem like this. We all gonna be under demonic attack, whether you say it or not. The devil coming after everybody. But no. I handle my business spiritually. Okay. I walk from one blessing to the next. I'm not going through all of that. And when the spirit, these attacks come, the Spirit of God let me know. I be shutting it down, baby, by the power of God. And God be boom, boom, boom. To the point, this whole city is about telling me like, oh no, God, you want a God chosen. He got your back. Yeah, he do. I ain't never seen no stuff like this. And then when I start speaking things out of the blue, who was going to win the election, blase split what they was going to say, everybody calling them. When I got through and I said, we got to pray for our leader, as the word of God say, that they do the will of God and they be about God's business, and that, you know, we pray for their safety and their mental health, you know, to stay sane, and ask God to bless them in their doings, and that they listen and hear the word of God and be guided. You know, people got mad at me. Oh, you don't do. Yes, we do pray for our leaders, but we have to make sure the leaders we praying for are right. Okay, God gonna bless them if they about His business. Okay, and I said, you gonna see. And I said it years ago when he got out and everybody was talking. I said, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. That's God's man. He said he's bringing them back. They looked at me. He's bad. God told me he was gonna win by a landslide, and he was his choice. People was mad at me. It's okay, but it happened. God told me he was going to have some business. He's a financial genius. A lot of stuff he put into play is for the best interest of the United States right now. But when you talk to people that has no knowledge of business, they're going to assume the worst. But it is actually going to be working best in our favor. A lot of people, leaders didn't want him in there because they was getting over on America. You know, We got a lot of issues here that got to be handled. But when God told me something, it's exactly what He told me. To the point, everybody, when they mother stayed, they was like, and she said, it's a done deal. That got here, and I got to saying different things that was going on. And as I walked, they was like, it's no more than what you said. I said, it wasn't me, it's the Spirit of God. I'm not the one making predictions, I'm hearing from God. But anyway, and God told me to set up my page. I wasn't gonna set up no page, especially no ministerial page. But in my life, I have two pages. I had in my life. The reason I have another page is that I want people to know the life of a Christian person, someone who is really about living a life. I'm not gonna tell you, well, you can't have a drink. I'm like, well, if you're alcoholic, you do need to stay away from it because that is a weakness with you. May even be a generational curse. I don't know with some people. But what I will tell you, it's nothing wrong with having a drink. But when you go out, you shouldn't be having more than two. And if you know you can't handle it and you get drunk fast, you need to leave it alone. You need to have a sober mind. You got to get home. You need to know what's going on. We live in a very dangerous society, and that's all I can say about that. That's all I can say about that. We have to be mindful where our weaknesses is. If you're a person that's angry a lot, you don't need to be around a bunch of ignorant folks. Okay? I'm just trying to tell you, I said, them relatives or them people, the Johnsons across the street is ignorant. You need to stay away from them. You need to work on controlling your temper. And I had a little vent earlier today, but you know what? I'm always respectful. When I do check somebody, I can check them real hard and raw. Okay, because I don't hold back. I just turn around and I'll rebuke them in a minute. And, I'm like that. But I don't really use profanity or nothing like that. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not low vibing. And I want to see everybody vibes raise up. Because if you are negative all day, you're not going to get them blessings. You blocking it. You got to speak that positive. You got to speak those things that be not as though they were. You got to believe God. He's the one who's going to bring in the blessing, because if the devil bring you something, you better believe it's going to be a whooping and a half. See, when God blesses, He make a rich and add no sorrow. But if you're going through all of this, got to argue with this man 10 years, trying to convince him to have all these kids, baby, you're not the one. You got to do it God's way to get that blessing. Blessings fall upon the blesser. Yes, blessing falls on the just as well as the unjust, but not the type on the magnitude that you're thinking. Okay? But I'm going to make this video short. I'd like to try to keep them really under 20 minutes. No more than 30. So I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, okay, I need to bring this to an end. I enjoy y'all. Y'all be blessed. I'm that girl Goddess. I'll be praying. And sometimes I am going to post some prayers. And, you can stand in the gap and we can touch and agree in that area. But y'all be blessed. Like, subscribe. And I know I be all over the place, and share, because I go from one thing to the next. Because as I'm talking, then I get to explain, and that's just my personality. And then certain things get to going, and it just coming to me, and I just go with it. I'm going to try to be more organized. Next time I talk about tarot, and I'm just going to make a small video about tarot, my experience, and I'll make a small video about a day in the life. I mean, that's what it came to me. But let me get off my break. Y'all be blessed. Bye.